Good evening, everybody. It is Monday night and we are back in the racing. I feel a little bit dark, but the light has gone off, but it's okay. Familiar voice in the commentating box with me, Ashley. Welcome back. We're back in the V8 Supercars, back by popular demand. How are you feeling about this one?
Yeah, thank you, Dylan, and it's good to be back again, and looking forward to tonight's racing in the V8s once again. A big group of
Most definitely. So I'm just looking at yes, man, Duncan. We do have another person, but you've decided to come and join us in the commentary box this evening. How are you?
I may not complain. Yeah, it is just terrible with.
So the guys are busy lining in, and off they go. And Morris in the lead, you see Durkee looking on the inside, and right behind him is Terry, followed by...
Out into fourth place as Terry goes into third. We've got Robert in fifth as we here are at Brands Hatch. Definitely not one of my favorite tracks by any means. But the Rolling Stars once again proving that this is all about...
who is that? I think that was looked like Terry.
Yeah, but Terry looked like he got away with that, but he's definitely caught somebody else and dropping down the order.
Quicksilver again goes off the track there. Who's that in the background? It is, it's Durkee, who's dropped down the field, and it looks like he had a little incident there with Terry. Terry just looking on the inside and made some contact, and now Durkee right in the back of the grid, and he's got some work to do.
Most definitely. 25 minutes is the format here. There's two races, and you can see that those trees are not as green as we would like them, which means that the track is going to be slightly colder. Big sideways moment there for Terry coming down into the last corner, and that's what we want to see. These V8s, there was about 6 cars that were voted on, and this came out top to rerun the V8s. And out in front, Mario starting to pull away.
Terry looks like Terry went off onto the grass there. So as you were mentioning that the big V8 sliding around, he lost the rear end of the vehicle and went onto the grass, and it's dropped him back a bit, only losing one position to Reese. And now he has Robert right at the back of him and applying the pressure.
And we know that Robert is quite proficient in the racing games. He's now going around the outside. That's a very interesting place to go. See a little flash of the light there for Terry. Because I'm pretty sure that he, as much as he wants to be holding Robert back, Robert definitely got a good drive going out the corner and has enabled him to head up another position.
That's right. So it looks like that gap now increasing between Robert and Terry. And Terry, if he doesn't watch out, he's soon going to have Donovan on the back. It was at Brandon. So it's Brandon DeSantos who's moved up the field and now into 5th position. And he's got his lights on, showing that he's coming through the field and he's on a charge, a man on a mission this evening. And in his sights is Terry.
I must say, what I am very, very excited about is to see the both Brandon, so Brandon DeSantos and Brandon Hills. I'm sure we saw him earlier on. He had qualified, but I'm not seeing him here, so it looks like he hasn't been able to hold that connection, so unfortunately is out.
I'm seeing him down in 14th position. If I just go there he is. It's not Brandon, sorry, it's the other Hills brother.
That's Vaughn, yep.
Vaughn, yes.
Whoa!
So you're right, as we...
This commentator's curse is terrible.
And I see he's got a new feature on the front of his bumper there. Is that for extra streamlining effects there?
Well, what
or is that just damage?
It's extra downforce on the front. But now
extra downforce, sorry.
Vaughn currently right at the back, and I think he's now in the mix here with some of the drivers, and big loss of the rear there. But if you don't have the downforce in the front, that's definitely not going to help you. We then have old-timer 555, and I know that number 555 is synonymous to the Subarus, a car very, very close to my heart. nevertheless, here he is racing, chasing down Stefan. Stefan was a very a dominant force in the GT3 series that we had recently, and really drove extremely well in that Ferrari.
So yeah, in 10th position we have a battle for 9th and 10th. That's Rockstar Mel. Not usually a place that we would see him.
Whoa,
normally
my gosh.
he would be at more or less at the front of the pack, but struggling this evening to get into the grips with the big V8, but making it look fairly easy there as he goes past is that
So that's
Warp
Shadow OG. So and when you said come to grips, I think that's part of the problem, is that you can see how these cars are sliding on the exit. Those rears are definitely stepping out, and Durkee now starting to get that momentum back, currently in 8th place.
Yeah, but it looks like he's got a bit of damage on the front there, so that may be affecting his drive this evening. You just see that right tail light, the front light, headlight should I say, looks a bit damaged, so could be affecting his downforce a little bit. You can see the bonnet popped up there, and damage is turned on, so the guys will be experiencing lack of performance in handling of the vehicle if there is damage on the vehicle. And you see somebody in the pits there. I'm not too sure that is. I think that's
Vaughan Hills.
Yes.
Yep. So Vaughan has decided to rather go get that damage sorted, get some more track time, and set himself up for the second heater this evening. And you can see Tyler Scott just behind Donovan, trying to get on that power, and the rear just snapping out.
Yeah, I did a couple of laps earlier in these V8s, and I must say it just feels so alien. I haven't been able to, or haven't driven this car in such a long time. That getting back into the vehicle just felt like it was driving, something that I've never driven before, and it was just difficult to get back into the rhythm of the car. And I think these guys are going to battle with it slipping and sliding everywhere, and especially with that big V8 brute force down on the track. You can see those guys going through the corners, and it just seems like they're just battling to keep the rear planted on the ground.
So lots of rear downforce would be required, but you can see Donovan just turning that corner in as he comes through Clark Curve, and that's just about sideways. We saw a thumbs up there from Marshall Steve de Flum. Come on, Vlamo, we need you to come and race with us, man.
So in the front, looks like there's a good dice here for third position. As we see Reese currently in second position, but he has Robert now closing in on him. And I wonder if we're going to see a battle towards the end of the race here between these two drivers.
Well, we've got 15 minutes left to go, so 10 minutes down, and there's been lots and lots of racing action here already. I'm also seeing, just in terms of the battle for 4th, 5th and 6th, that's also very close. That's those three drivers within a second, and as we cross there, we've got Brandon Dos Santos going through on the inside of Terry, and Donovan are right behind in the colors. Every time I see those colors, it reminds me of our Gerard V-Dubber Especial. So Marshall there just saying lacquer boys, but every time he wants to race, he has the load shedding. So it looks like he does have the same problem as you, Dodge. So you're not the only one who out there experiencing the wonderful issues that we have in load shedding, and some of our international viewers just can't seem to understand that. A look to the inside for Donovan, and that just scares Terry. Terry going a little bit too wide there. It looks like
so Terry trying the new farming simulator feature, and obviously he's been watching a lot of Clarkson's Diddley Squat Farm.
But I can tell you now, watching that is going to help you Diddley Squat with your racing. It's alright guys, I'm here all week.
That was
So Marius out in front, our race leader, gets the car nice and sideways through Westfield and going down into Sterling's, just about to complete his 8th lap, and now starting to really dominate this class, and we know how fast he is in the V8.
Yeah, at this rate you'll be lapping some of the guys. You can just see the guys in the background. And you can just see, he's managing that car smooth. He's really one with the car at the moment, and that's making the difference. Not sliding too much. He's looking after his tires. He's taking nice clean lines through each corner, and that's the difference. And that's what you have to do every single lap and be consistent.
Well, I know there was lots of conversations leading up to the race this evening, and the guys were worrying about whether the soft tires would make it all the way. A lot of them saying they'd have to run the hards. The soft just weren't able to get hooked up. And not only that, but the softs looked like they actually weren't lasting the full 25 minutes. So definitely an interesting strategy here, and what tire choice that the guys were going to be running. And I just wish I'd checked my notes earlier, because I can't remember whether these that are being run now are the hards, or whether I think it's the reds are actually the soft ones, if memory serves me right. But now we can have a little lap around Brands Hatch, as I mentioned before, not one of my favorites. So now onto the Brabham Straight, down past the start finish line into turn number 1. This is Paddock Hill. Blind braking point, blind apex. Get the acceleration down as you head down the hill. Then just under the Palmer Bridge, hard on the brakes. You can see Morris using those gears to help slow the car down, trying not to use the brakes too much, otherwise they lock up. Now in through Graham Hill, then onto the power again. Another long left-hander, but a late apex. I'm going to clip on the inside now, get the power on, and let the car roll out onto the outside through Surtees. Now across the longer straights here through the Pilgrim's Drop. You can see down the hill, now into Hawthorne Hill. And now we start going back up. And that corner, you're able to carry quite a bit of speed there through Westfield. You want to stay off that curb on the inside. You can ride it, but if your settings are not right, it just bounces you off. Now through a Sheen curve. See Morris a little squirrely as he got back onto the power. Now in through Sterling's. And you can carry lots of speed through there, as there's a nice little camber on the inside using the inside curb. Now through the last corner. Clark curve back on the power. Careful of the exit there. There's not much of runoff there. And across the line to begin his lap number 10.
Yeah, good clean consistency throughout that lap, and yeah, like I said, that's going to keep him in the lead for sure. Opening up that gap now to 15 seconds, so I think you can do a pit stop and have a cup of tea at this race.
Well, we know who can't be having a cup of tea, and that's either Reese or Robert. But Reese, he just got a little snap off going into turn number 1. A little lock up there for Reese as well. Up into Druids. Now he's going to be chased down the hill through Graham Hill Bend. A little bit too wide there onto the curb on the exit. He's going to just struggle to get that power down. And Robert now really applying lots and lots of pressure now.
Yeah, and we were hoping to see a good battle, and this is exactly what's happened. These two getting very close together, and you see now Robert in the slipstream. Will he have a look on the inside? I think he's just going to take it easy for the next couple of corners. Try keep the pressure. Just what he expect, and has gone through into.
But now he's run a little bit wide, which is now going to give it back to Reese. So Reese now the shorter line towards being able to hang on to that the exit. You can see how that car is just wiggling, just trying, and all that's doing is just
racing here this evening between the two drivers here fighting for that second position and stake. And this is again. And they're busy fighting one another. Brandon's the Santos is starting to make headway and catching these guys.
Yeah, because just look at those lap times. So with just under 7 minutes to go, there's still 3 or 4 laps left here. And mistake there by Robert, and Reese followed him up into Drude's. Way too late on the brakes. They just wasn't able to get their car started. Brandon and Santos into, and all he's got to do is in the pouncing seat. Listen to me. Oh my gosh, that's almost as bad as a three-way horse.
Oh,
guys, and you heard that all here first.
Yeah, I definitely feel like
because it was the little break that, and Amarius lap 14, 17 seconds. Tyler.
So I just want to look at the penalties here. I see, yes, Robert has picked up the 2-second penalty and Reese has 1 second. Terry with a 4-second penalty down there in 7th position.
Just trying to think where those time penalties would. I'm assuming it's up on the back end there through Westville and Sheen. Whoa!
Brandon DeSantos now side by side with Tyler.
Which means they're back and hang on to this 4th place now.
Yeah, somewhere I lost the plot. For some reason I thought that was Brandon. And it's Mr. Shadow OG. And it looks like his car in a bit of a bad shape at the moment, so it's probably coming for a bit of repairs.
Well, it looks all fixed now. Thank you to Tashari, who has just followed us. Thank you very much. Don't forget, we will be doing some ACC racing on Thursday evening, and that's going to be a cracker. We do have something quite special for that, but we've got just under 3.5 minutes left for that 4th place. And now down to within, could we get 3? So 1.
So I've seen a shot of them. Looking at the times, just a 10th between the two on that last lap, with Brandon being the quickest out of the two drivers. So definitely has his eye on Reese at the moment, and he just needs to keep it clean and tidy. Well, we see in the background there getting out of shape as he comes through that corner, as he comes down the back straight here. We know that Reese was battling through this section of the track when we saw him with that battle with Robert, but a much cleaner line this time.
And I'm sure Brandon is just keeping his eye on those time penalties. He'll know that Reese has got a time penalty. He would have seen how much time is there, so he's going to be pushing to try and just get within that that time frame. And the best thing that you can do is just keep applying that pressure and just hope that Reese is watching his mirrors. He is trying to manage that distance between himself and Brandon. But look at this. This is Tyler with Rockstar Mal fighting here for 5th and 6th place. And not to mention, is that Terry in 7th place?
Yeah, Terry is in 7th place, but he does have that time penalty of 4 seconds at the moment. So even if you met, and then we see, looks like Rockstar, or is that just a glitch on my side?
Yeah, I think that was a glitch, because look, what I saw is that he was also just having a go towards the wall, and then all of a sudden he reappeared. So most definitely a little glitch there, but all good, and we are back to racing.
Something weird happened in the Matrix there, but seemed to have sorted itself out.
So Brandon and Reese is the little battle that I am most interested in, because Brandon now nearly within those 2 seconds and 10 seconds left of this race. So Marius would have crossed the start finish line already, so there will be one more lap to go for these guys.
Yeah, it just looks like Reese is just managing that gap at the moment. Look at that time there. Brendan was quicker. But will it be enough? I mean, like you say, 1 lap left. I'm not sure if he's going to have enough time to get past Reese, and especially if he's making those mistakes. And I'm afraid that's not going to help his cause.
And I know that feeling. Is that you see that you're so close to the driver, and all you want to do is just get on that power just that little bit sooner, just so that you can close it up. And all you're doing is you're just forcing the issue on yourself and creating that problem. Whereas if you just driven the race, Brandon was catching him, and that would have solved his problem. But now by just pushing that a little bit too hard, you just lose that rhythm, and unfortunately that won't be a position that he will be taking.
No, unless Reese makes a mistake. But as we are watching that battle, Marius crosses the line to take the win for the first heat this evening. Robert coming home in second position. A good drive there from him as well. Did really well to fight through and get in that position. Reese finishing up in third, followed by Brandon DeSantos, who was on a charge. This battle between Rockstar Mel and
Tyler.
Tyler Scott. Good battle there. Tyler finished in fifth position, followed by Rockstar. Terry coming home in seventh at the moment, but will he get that penalty, dropping further down? Stephen Step
Ayton. Step Ayton. No, it's it's Stefan. Oh shit. Step Ayton.
And it's the old timer himself coming home in ninth position there. And looked like Dirkie had quite a bit of damage there, so unfortunately he was stuck down in the pits, and as a result he's in 10th position.
So we're just going to get the updated starting positions for the guy. Ooh, that's not what I anticipated seeing. And then we can get onto heat number 2 as quick as we can.
So, well done, Marius. Kwaai ouens, kwaai. Ek sien daar het goeders agter my gebeur. Ek het sien daar skielik 'n gap agter my. Well done, jongens.
Ja, dis wat hooligans op die baan.
What happened? I just saw.
Sorry about that, guys, but I had a.
So I'm just listening to the comments coming from the lobby, and one of the issues that Terry had is a spring came off his pedal.
Oh, goodness.
And as a result, caused him a bit of issues there.
A bit of unjoy, so to say. So, very interestingly enough, is now that we have got the reverse grid up and running, Rockstar Mal will be starting in front with Tyler Scott in second, Brandon DeSantos in third, with Reese fourth, Robert in fifth, and then Marius will start off in a sixth position, followed by Terry, Stefan, the old-timer Dirkie, and I didn't get the rest. But they'll know where they had finished. Would have been Dave and Donovan.
Yeah, I only got 10 positions there for some reason as well.
We can just give the thumbs up from our side, just to let the director know that our broadcasting team are good to go. And once again, it will be a rolling start. And once a rolling start is happening, the top 6 will do a grid change. reverse grid for the top 6, and we did have that in part of the rules for our ACC League starting on Thursday. And if you want to have a look at some crazy racing that's going to be happening, I assure you, tune in on Thursday night, where we kick off with a 40-strong racing lineup for Thursday evening. It is going to be a cracker of note.
Yeah, and that one's going to be hosted on a PC. So, guys, if you want to come and take part in these events, please go check out our website, sarcoracing.co.za, and you can go register there.
Click the little link on the Discord, and a big thank you to our product sponsors here this evening. And that is to go see the full lineup of their products at MSR have been the very, very generous contributors to the some frames early on, but those here, I just want to know that you're able to hear us. These servers that we have running, which are powered by Nutanix, so a big thank you to all that you need to do. But please support those brands that support SARCO. That's what makes the difference.
I must say, I'm pretty happy with my shaving kit that was sent to me for my league win.
Fantastic.
I'm still using mine. I mean, those things I've lost it a long time.
Well, obviously, just shows you how generous those hampers were.
Yeah. I mean, that's got to be at least 3 or 4 months now.
And now the sun is going down, the track is colder, and I just wonder whether the guys have now done the adjustments of the pressures. Because there is that little 2-minute timer that the guys have before they sync up, and we will be racing once again the second heat here, round number 1. And the one thing that I have realized that I didn't do is start updating the positions for the first race.
Is it a reverse grid at this point?
Yep, the top 6 will be fortunate enough to experience that reverse grid.
So that's going to change things up a bit.
So those starting positions now, we will have Rockstar Mel in 1, Tyler Scott 2, Brandon DeSantos 3, Reese 4, Robert 5, and then Marius in 6th place. So all I can say is watch for Marius. He's going to be trying to make his way through as quickly as possible.
So the guys are busy getting into position, so they're going to do a quick rolling start. And just try to avoid each other as they go through the first couple of bends.
Well, the whole idea is just stay predictable. If you need to be overtaken, you just keep to the left, let the guys overtake you on the right, and that way nobody gets hurt and everybody gets to have a good race, as opposed to going 2 wide, sometimes 3 wide or 4 wide we've seen, and then you lose 4 cars in turn number 1, and that's definitely not the way we like to be racing.
You know, you watch it from this camera angle, that track looks pretty wide, but when you're sitting in that car, it doesn't feel like it.
It definitely feels like the car is next to you, is actually on top of you.
Yeah.
So there was a race at Road America where there was Durkee and Marius were basically side by side, and next thing it glitched, and all it did was send, I think what was Marius was then glitched through the pit wall.
Oh, yeah, I have had experience on Project Car where I think it was Belgium Spa. At Spa, the
little wall on the inside.
Yeah, a car was launched into space.
Oh goodness. Okay,
So
where
the
are
guys
we?
are busy.
There
Yeah,
we
it looks
go.
like they're in position.
So you can see that single file as they now head towards the start-finish line here at Brands Hatch. Heat number 2. And that is go, go, go there by Rockstar Mel, sending everybody into the first corner. Reese finishing in the 3rd place. He's right up on the back of Brandon there. Thought he might have a little look on the inside. And I just love this time of the day with the racing. You can just see so much more of the detail of the cars, the flames coming out the sides. Not only that, is as it gets a little bit darker, we might actually see those front brake discs glowing.
Yeah, that makes it a lot spectacular to watch, especially with the sun going down, the auto in the background.
Sorry.
Going wide in the background, yeah.
So that was Dirkie just getting on the power, and that rear just slapping him up a bit. And
he's in 6th position at the moment, so he's done pretty well. I mean, he was right at the back of the grid, he should have been. I mean, he would have started in 10th position, so he's made up 4 positions at the moment into 6th position. He's chasing down Marius, but Marius doesn't seem to be hooked up as he was in the first race. I mean, look at that gap that's between him and Brandon. Oh, I see there somebody. Who was that?
That's Brandon and Reese. But now that's going to be carnage because he was got stuck in the middle of the track. And it looked like there was just a little bit of contact between Brandon and Reese. And you can see Reese's car taking a big knock up against the inside wall there.
And Robert's gone into the pit, so you're also having some sort of issue there. But that's moved now Marius into 3rd position, so not much work being done there. And we have Terry and now Dirkie having a good tight battle.
We have seen how loose this car comes out, and you see Dirkie once again really struggling to get that power down. And that car just being pulled off the side of the track, coming up through Hawthorns. But now Terry just needs to keep his eyes front. Don't watch that mirror. Try and force Dirkie to pick the opportunity to make the move.
So we've got battles all over the track at the moment as Morris is now catching Tyler out in front. And Tyler has picked up a penalty. Not sure what time penalty just yet. We'll have a look at the timings in a moment. But now Marius getting that slipstream, tucked in right behind Tyler. And will he have a look on the inside? He's just waiting, biding his time. And I think he might have a go, on the inside for this 3rd corner, 2nd corner.
Yeah, 2nd corner, Druids. And just not close enough. And what we know that the slipstream effect on these cars isn't as great as we would want it, and that's because they don't really run too much of a downforce package. The cars are pretty much standard. Lots of rear wing that they're able to add, a little bit of front splitter, but more than that, it's not really a GT3 car, so you can take advantage of that corner grip, and that's why these cars are so sideways on the power, as well as going into the corners. You can see they're locking up, and that's because there's no traction control, there's no ABS, and it is just pure light foot on the brakes, heavy foot on the accelerator.
Oh, Morris had a good clean exit, and he's now really applying the pressure to Tyler, trying to find his way past. And Tyler is not the easiest guy to get past. But from experience, he loves to play the defensive game, and he's playing that at the moment. But Marius just waiting for the gap. He's still 18 minutes left of this race, so he's not in a hurry just to get past just yet.
Yeah,
he wants those points this evening.
and he's still in touch with Jacques. They're only 3 seconds away, so it's just about being patient. Don't make too much of a nuisance of yourself, and just allow the... Oh! Somebody climbed the curb on the inside, and that completely spun them around coming out of Hawthorns.
So I'm not too sure who's this in front. Is it Reese? I think it is Reese.
Yeah, that is Reese.
So Reese is, even though he's a lap down, he's battling here with Rockstar Mel. And I don't think Rockstar Mel will be impressed with that, because that's going to slow him down. Unless he just lets Reese go past. But then, you don't know if Reese is going to be able to keep the pace or not. But looks like he is managing to eke out a little bit of a gap here between himself.
Yeah, let's just see what those lap times are when they cross the line. So that is Rockstar Mile 124.3, Reese 129. So it looked like it was Jacques that actually was able to get ahead of Reese there. So Tyler has unfortunately lost that place to Morris.
Yeah, sorry guys, I did miss that one. I was just wondering what was happening out in front. But you can see now that Morris is on attack. Last lap time a 123.1, so he is pushing hard.
Just jump there to 8th position for me, please.
8th. It's an all-timer.
So when I looked, it was 18, 18, 18 in terms of the splits, but it looks like they have they're not there anymore. But there we go. Here's another battle, and this is between Dirkie and Terry.
Whoa! And I saw that coming, unfortunately.
So Terry kept a little bit of that door open, and Dirkie just went and slotted his nose in there, and unfortunately taking Terry out. And what that's going to do is that it's going to allow Vaughan Hills now to close up onto Terry, because you can see just about half a second between Terry now and Vaughan Hills.
So just cutting back to Morris. Morris now catching up to this bunch. He's got Reese who's jumped out the way. But I kind of feel like he's hasn't helped really with Rockstar Mel's cause this evening. Well, yes, he's having a bit of fun, but that's not fun if you're trying to pull a gap and you got a driver who's a lap down.
Well, I don't think that Reese would actually have been pushing to try and overtake. I think it was just saying, well, look, I'm going the same pace as Jacques. I might as well just stick here. But to try and unlap himself, I don't see Reese doing that.
Well, now Morris right at the back of Mel Jock and looking for a opportunity to drive past.
14 and a half minutes left to go, and I'm sure Morris is going to be applying all that pressure, just waiting for that opportunity.
Absolutely, this battle is definitely warming up. We see the Rockstar Mel not giving Marius any opportunity to come past, making that car as wide as possible. And Marius just waiting. He knows he still has time in the bag. There's no real pressure from behind, so he has.
Understand the job for Marius to make a move, and unless Marius really starts attacking, Jacques can just sit there and he can just keep driving. So Morris will have to really start, just starting to show the nose on the inside. Perhaps his little incident.
Times of Dirkie quickest.
And you can see all of the track out of the being slowed down. You can see the average speed between these guys. Currently, it is pretty brutal. They really are going quickly, so I can't say that they're taking it easy. It looked like Jacques was a little bit wide, but he just caught that curb on the exit there. Just enough to keep him going. But now, a little snap of the rear there for Jacques. And it looks like, you know, Morris wasn't really able to capitalize on that, so he too didn't really get a great exit out there. You can see Jacques setting up, going very defensive on the inside. Now Morris trying to get the run down on the inside. They're going to be side by side into Drew, but Morris backs out.
Oh, he's got him. He's got him.
Jacques goes a little bit too deep, and Morris now moves himself up. And we see that Sean Lerero has approved of this. Thank you very much, Sean. Sean, one of the drivers for LT Racing. Looking forward to seeing him racing on a Thursday evening in the Assetto Corsa League. So that was just pure persistence there from Marius, keeping that pressure on Jacques. And now we've got Tyler. He's closing, but he's chasing down Durkee. And Durkee was very, very sideways there. And we've got a little visit here from Adrian Bond saying, this is awesome. P.S. Hi all. Well, Mr. Bond, we are looking forward to seeing you on a Thursday with the likes of Wayne Bond. That is going to be one crazy, crazy race. 40 drivers have entered for that league, and we will be bringing you the live commentary action for that as well. So look out for that. And I will be joined by one of our other favorites, Mr. Stephen Smith. And you're more than welcome to join us, Ashley, unless you're going to be getting that PC on. I didn't want to overcommit you.
Thank you. No, I feel the love. Thank you. Thanks, Dylan, for that.
Well, look, it's not very often. Well, I can't say not very often, but we haven't had a full lobby in a while. So it is always awesome to be commentating with you. Just knowing right from the beginning, it wasn't really something that you wanted to do, but we kind of did it, you know, out of the necessity. So big ups to you, Ashley.
Yeah, life has taken a bit of a change.
No, we get that. Listen, we understand that, and that's always been one of the mantras here at SARCO. Is we understand that life happens.
Yeah.
In your case,
I was very lucky not to be beaten by my wife this evening.
otherwise I would be doing this all by myself. So thank you very much for the late arrival. Appreciate it.
No, always welcome, and it's always great to be here and participating, watching these guys do some fantastic work behind the steering wheel. Especially this man out in front who never fails to impress, now with a commanding lead of over 4 seconds. Marius, you know, has been with SARCO. I don't even know how long has he been with SARCO?
So interesting enough is that he was racing with folks, the gentleman's name was Barry from White Knuckle Racing. And we did a little team versus team. It was SARCO versus White Knuckle Racing. And Marius realized, but hold on, you guys are from South Africa. I've been racing with these guys in Ireland. And not that he jumped ship, but he came and he started racing with us, with the South African folk. But still, you know, kept his alliances with White Knuckle Racing. So Marius has been one of the OGs from the beginning.
Yeah, very competitive and
I see a comment coming through.
100%
coming through from our Facebook page, and that's Mr. Flip van Zyl, the team boss of LT Racing, saying awesome stream quality. Thank you very much for that, Flip. Appreciate the comment. We did have a little bit of a glitch early on, but I think it was just due to the thunderstorm that we have that we dropped a couple of frames, but no issues since. So thank you for the feedback, appreciate it. So Rockstar Mel currently in a second place, so he is ahead of his teammate Dirkie, 3.7 seconds behind. We then got Tyler Scott in fourth place with Stefan in fifth. And I must say, Stefan's been pretty quiet this series, but I suppose we are only on the second heat of this championship. Terry down in sixth. We saw a little bit of contact there between himself and Dirkie, just being run a little bit wide. Terry sixth place ahead of Brandon DeSantos in seventh. Brandon had an absolute cracker race earlier on, and then just a little contact between himself and Reese, and unfortunately dropping down the order. Vaughan Hills also down in 8th place. We are expecting him to just get to grips a little bit more with the car, and we'll see him higher up. Donovan down in 9th place. He too will be putting in some more time to get his results higher. And then we got the old-timer in 10th. Old-timer joining us for the season. I know that he did race last season, but load shedding really didn't help him, so didn't see much of him. Killer Dave returns, 126.9 there for him. He is in 11th place. Whoa, big sideways action there for Donovan. So just over 5 minutes left.
Yeah, the field is nice and spread out at the moment, except for this battle for that final podium. Sorry, it's not the final podium, it's Rockstar Mel. So Dirkie has got past, and now he's into second position. So I'm wondering if Rockstar Mel made a mistake there and just managed to, well, allowed Dirkie to get past. But the two teammates, first and second, are they teammates?
We know.
Or they're just like the color yellow.
We know they're teammates. Come on. So look, I don't think that it was a place that was just given. I think maybe Jacques did make a little mistake. But I know definitely later on in the season that if one of them would need the help, and that's what teammates do. You know, you kind of help the others, to get in.
Is Dirkie the extra?
That's correct.
Oh, he's the extra.
Yeah, he's the extra. And the Jacques actually using the colors of the green Mambas, because that was very, very much the car that I would be racing in.
Is that still a thing, or is that...
Well, I haven't driven as a green Mamba, listen. But we know that the Mamba Fever is a thing. So the green Mambas aren't a thing, but Mamba Fever, that was definitely a thing. You can speak to Mr. Ross about that. You can speak to Jakes about that. There are many, many people that have succumbed to the Mamba Fever. Ooh, that's going to be a time penalty for sure. That was lots and lots of red.
Yeah, I can see slow down a lot. Just that's one way of eradicate. This is will the air brake up and stop. Have a quick tea.
So thank you to everybody who has currently joined us. 3 minutes left of this. We see that we are now at 10 o'clock, so we just hope that the drivers that are currently in this lobby with the 3 minutes left to go are not kicked out due to load shedding. And we are able to get to the end of this race.
I don't think Eskom's going to wait for this race to end, that's for sure.
Come on, it's only 2 minutes and 40. Come on, man. As Dirkie, you can see, he really has a battle with that corner all evening. And that's just getting the car settled, coming back up the hill through Surtees. Just a little wiggle of that tail, just not being able to get that foot flat and getting the car out.
So nobody has disconnected as of yet, and it's 1 minute past 10.
Do me a favor, please. Just go to Marius, because I'm seeing something that is not making sense. Because Marius had a 10-second gap, which is now down to 6 seconds. So I wanted to see whether there was a bit of damage on Marius's car to see whether he had lost it. But I'm not seeing the damage, so maybe it was just a little sideways moment. Because that gap is now 6 seconds, so definitely something had happened there.
Yeah, that gap's actually getting 10 seconds a lot more tricky. And yeah, and you can see a couple of guys have made a mistake. So definitely a change, evolution of the track, and that's what's catching some of the drivers out.
And that's the thing, is that we don't really have too much of a time progression on, just knowing that unpredictability of the track.
Oh, there's somebody in the middle of the track, and
so that's Reese, unfortunately. So I
that
think
looks like load shedding.
As the load shedding now kicks in.
Yeah, so we've really lost one driver then. I think that was Reese. Yeah, a couple of drivers have disconnected.
Just trying to see who else it is. Okay, so get all side by side. Wow! Oh my gosh. So that was our race leader going past our Warp Shadow OG. And for a second there I thought that Marius might have just got that a little bit wrong, but just able to get that that car by without any contact. So this
I wonder if he was trying to overtake a back marker and perhaps ran into a back marker, because he's caught these guys pretty quickly even after that off.
Look, a 10-second penalty, I mean 10 seconds on your time, you're not really going to get that. You might get like 3 or 4 seconds getting stuck behind a back marker, but not 10. 10 is definitely a little mistake somewhere.
Well, somebody else is disconnected, so
yeah, we tried really hard, unfortunately, just to get the timing right to try and end before 10 o'clock. We missed it by 3 minutes, but it will be a learning for next week. And it's such a weird balance, because we're waiting for the guys whose load shedding only comes on at 8:30, and it's just a build up waiting for them to go in. So it has been quite an interesting challenge, but I think by us just missing it by 3 or 4 minutes, is Tyler Scott 5th, 10th position.
So they was 8th position, and unfortunately they...
Yep, so guys, we won't go into all of those who joined us. Product sponsors from a price point of view, MSI providing us the streaming equipment needed to get out the great quality streams, as well as NAG. And the reason they're here is just to show their support, giving us the servers for the racing on a Thursday night. So really looking forward to that. A big thank you to Ashley for joining me this evening, and hopefully we are able to catch you again and have you joining us in the commentary box.
Yeah, thanks so much, Dylan. I really enjoyed myself, and good luck. Are you racing on Thursday, or is it just going to be are you commentating?
As much as I would love to be racing, I'm going to be doing the commentary. I'll be racing one of the other nights on the PC.
Well, yeah, guys, if you if you want to join up or want to get part of this exciting experience, check out our website, sarcoracing.co.za, and yeah, go register. See if you can challenge some of the guys like Marius and Dirkie. And yeah,
100%.
From my side, thank you so much.
Guys, thank you so much. We'll keep racing, keep practicing. We'll see you on Thursday night. And until then, thanks for watching.